And back once again for another week of SCI Wrestling. I'm WB Ward.
And I'm Chip Douglas.
Hey, welcome back, dude.
Oh, thank you so much.
You know, one thing I love about doing reports with the WWE is the fact that they support our troops like none other.
Oh, yes, they do.
Don't they still have that policy where if somebody shows up to one of their television tapings in uniform, they still get in free?
Correct. Yes. To my knowledge, I think they do that.
I think that is just so awesome.
It's incredible.
You just show up in uniform and you're in.
And of course, every year around Christmas time, or I think it airs at Christmas time, but I think they go weeks before that. But they always do those overseas trips.
Oh, I love watching
to the military
those.
bases.
I love watching those. I mean, those are just awesome. And I wonder though, does that uniform policy extend to pay-per-views, or is that just strictly on Raw and SmackDown?
Who knows?
I don't know if that. I would kind of be surprised if they did allow that on
right on pay-per-views. It'd be tough.
Lord, there's no reason for them to. I mean, no disrespect to the military, but
by the way, happy Veterans Day to you.
Thank you. When I had my free meal at, I went to Chili's.
Good. Got
myself a big, delicious hamburger. Thank you guys very much for that. Even went to $4. I mean Starbucks. I shouldn't be teasing them because I got a free coffee.
What kind of coffee did you get there?
It was just, it was the free cup for the veterans, and it was just a big cup of black coffee. But my God, that was strong. I love that.
Oh, was it good?
Oh, yeah. If I would have poured that in a glass mug and held it up, sunlight would not have been able to have penetrated
that black.
I mean, it was black, but it was. I have to admit, it was a good cup of Joe.
I don't drink coffee, so to me, it's always hard to gauge. Good coffee from bad coffee, because to me, it's all bad.
Oh well, I can tell you bad coffee.
If you can see light through it.
Yeah, if you can see light through it, it is no good.
Okay.
Because as you know, my reputation is that I do tend to make coffee a little on the stout side.
Yes, I've heard.
But no, this Starbucks coffee I had today was strong even by my standards.
Wow.
So I mean, we're talking some you sprout your own legs, get up and walk across the room type of coffee. But it was good, and I love having been honored to have been able to serve the country.
Yep, and of course you were in Air Force?
United States Air Force, yes.
And of course your son as well.
Squadron 3706. No, my son...
Well, he was Army, though.
Yeah, my son's in the Army.
Yeah.
My younger brother was also in the Army. So we are somewhat of a military family.
Yeah, absolutely.
In a manner of speaking. We're the only... I kind of hesitate to say that because we're the only three in our family that served. Oh, no. That's not true. An uncle on my mother's side was an officer in the Navy.
Oh, okay.
I believe. Okay.
Other
than that, our big patriotic contribution was a guy by the name of Samuel Augustus Ward.
Oh, okay.
My great uncle, who back in the close to the turn of the century wrote some music that later became known as America the Beautiful.
That's right. I remember you telling me that.
My great uncle. Anyway, back to wrestling. Tell me something. Are you ready to go with the tweet of the week?
Oh, I am ready.
Well, let's get Lurch to fire up the Wayback Machine and let's go. I love that.
I do.
10, 9,
yes.
8, 7,
okay.
6,
good.
5,
4,
yes. 3,
yes.
2, 1,
and
0.
Yeah.
What time is it, kids?
Here we go.
Oh, Michael. How it's good to hear your voice once a week.
It is indeed.
You smell like a take, though.
Yeah.
All right. This is brought to you by the Hall of Fame of Twitters for SCI, WB Creative Humor. Go follow them at WB Creative-ish. It's actually creative_ish. It goes, thanks, Luke Harper, for ensuring that everyone's still going to have nightmares tonight. Hashtag Raw tonight.
Isn't Luke Harper, aren't those his eyes?
Yes, those are his eyes.
That's what I was kind of suspecting. I was suspecting that. I've been meaning to ask you that the last couple of weeks, and I've been forgetting. So that has been confirmed. Those are him?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right. That's kind of...
Crazy-looking guy.
Yeah, he is. I think he's going to do that well.
Yes.
As a matter of fact...
I think that was probably one of the biggest takeaways from last night's Raw.
I didn't see that part. My DVR recorded everything and then stopped right after the interference in the last
So you
match.
missed him taking out Ziggler.
Yes, I did miss
Oh my
that. I
gosh.
read about it on the internet, but I didn't get to see it.
Wow. I mean,
did-
that was such a huge moment. And I think it's really setting up for something either one of us predicted, and that was for Luke Harper to be part of the Team Authority.
Well, I kind of fudged a little. I went back and changed my prediction. I took Bray Wyatt out of the lineup, and I put him as with the Authority in Bray Wyatt's place.
Well, the sucky thing about having archive shows that are on Twitter every week is the fact that we can go back and listen when you're wrong.
yeah, that's true.
So,
However, I can remember one where I wasn't, but we won't get into that.
we're not going to go back to that far in history.
that would be going back a few months. Yeah. But I'm the only one who can make the claim.
So, what do you think about the Luke
He
Harper?
changes the subject.
Yeah, we'll change
What did I
quickly.
think? What?
About Luke Harper joining the Authority.
I think that's a good move. I think because of the fact you and I have been consistent on our predictions with Luke Harper being a really strong talent who is in the waiting, I think this is a smart move at this point. And it's a great push for Dolph. Because the fans are really eating him up. So all in all, I think that's going to be a potential moneymaker for the company, and God knows they're in need of something
Yes.
to get past this desperation stage that they are going through right now. But no, I think it's a great move.
I think it's a terrific idea to encompass him on Team Authority. He brings probably the little bit of wild card.
Yes.
Option to it. I still think that Triple H will end up joining Team Authority at some point, since now that him and Stephanie's reign as power is in question. I think we'll see him involved. But now I think we're really starting to see the teams unfold very nicely here. Team Authority, it's looking like Seth Rollins, Luke Harper, Rusev, Mark Henry. And I think it's going to be Triple H. I don't think Randy Orton. I think Randy Orton is basically out of that equation now.
Well, as a matter of fact, I think on Team Cena, one of two things is going to happen. Either I think they're going to be toying around with Ryback. Ryback's going to be kind of teetering. Yes, I'm going to be Team Cena. No, I'm not going to be Team Cena. I don't need anybody but myself. I think he's going to kind of leave that out in the open. And then at the last minute, probably on the night of Survivor Series, Randy Orton comes down the ramp unexpectedly.
I think they still have to put Ryback on the team though, because if you look,
Yeah, but I think he'll be wishy-washy.
yeah, I mean, I agree with that.
Because it's kind of like last night. Last night's Raw. Even after Ryback, came up with this. By the way, I thought he played the role beautifully. In the intro where he said, "But I don't see John Cena's name at the bottom of my paycheck."
Yeah.
And then he slammed Cena in the ring, making it appear like, okay, he's going to be all authority. But all through the show, he was wishy-washy.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking they're going to be playing that wishy-washy part now with the Team Cena going to be from the angle of I really don't need anybody but myself type of guy. But he's still going to be a face because I think the WWE universe likes him as a face. He's kind of a negative face, but they like him as a face anyway. And besides, WWE has tried him not once but twice as a heel, and it didn't work.
It took no build up whatsoever. It just took them playing that theme music again for him to become relevant again as a babyface.
Oh yeah, the biggest mistake they ever made was when they stopped using it.
Right.
And it was just like, what? You guys had this beautiful thing going on, and you go, oh, let's change this now.
Let's go a different direction.
And I'm glad I'm glad cooler heads were found. Last night, Stephanie McMahon made a statement, and it was kind of an off-the-cuff statement. But I can kind of almost sort of see them actually coming through with this.
Okay.
As you know, last night they were in England.
Okay.
And she referred to herself as being like the Queen. And as a matter of fact, she said she was thinking about changing her ring music to God Save the Queen. Now, if they did that, can you name the reason why that would be considered heresy here?
Because isn't that like their national anthem?
Well, it is the national anthem for England.
And so if that,
But there's
played in the
another reason.
States-
There's another reason why, if they did it here, that it would cause an uproar here.
because we don't have a queen.
No,
What?
the tune of God Save the Queen is the same tune to My Country 'Tis of Thee.
Oh, okay.
My country 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty.
Oh, okay.
That song, it's the exact same song. We just threw different words on it. So if
so we stole it from him.
yeah. We figured after we kicked their butts in the revolution, hey, let's take the song
Let's take
too,
the
guys.
music too.
But put a short spin on it, yeah. But yeah, if they did try to use that here, I don't think it would last very long. But it would indeed cause an uproar on
Yeah, it'd be
both
stupid.
sides of the pond.
Yeah, it'd be stupid. She was trying to get aroused.
And surprisingly, she really didn't get that much of a rouse out
No,
of the
because
audience.
it's stupid. It's a stupid play. No one in the audience, especially in that part of not I almost said America, that part of the world, they're very smart on professional wrestling. I
Yes.
think that the European market is probably one of the biggest out there. I mean, besides America, of course, America's still going to have the bigger set, but those
The bigger set.
yeah, the bigger set of
Yes.
gonads.
Okay.
And but over in Europe and in a lot of those countries, they're very, very smart on professional wrestling. So they know the fact that, all right, let's face facts, there ain't no way she's ever going to do that because that'd be stupid of her.
Yes,
They're smart marks.
they are. I'll agree. I'll agree with that assessment. America's got a bigger set. I'm going to have to remember that.
See?
That's the bicameral Senate.
Yeah. I challenge anyone to prove me otherwise.
I'm certainly not
You
going
can
to
send
be.
those pictures to SCI at WBWard.com.
By the way, Jerry Lawler had the best line, and I forget which diva he was referring to, but he referred to one of the divas as being like Venus de Milo. She's awfully beautiful, but she's not all there. And that's been my favorite line of the year so far. I love that one. By the way, speaking of divas, I thought last night the match between Paige and Alicia Fox was about the best divas match I have seen in a long time.
Okay.
I thought it was just wonderfully performed. For once, I was actually believing what I was seeing. I thought it was just well done. And I'm not a big Paige fan.
Right.
Not so much an Alicia Fox fan, because quite frankly, I've always kind of thought that girl doesn't even belong there.
Yeah.
But I thought last night's performance between those two was about the best I've seen in an awful long time. I've got to give them some clout too. And with you being a Paige fan, how did you like Paige's the crowd's reaction to Paige as she came out?
Oh, I mean, it makes sense. I mean,
Sure.
she is the best woman performer they got right now. She was a natural wrestler. I mean, she wrestled before she even signed with WBE. So to me, that's a big deal right there. So she has that pedigree already. I think maybe besides maybe Natalia probably put above her, and AJ Lee probably give a run for her money on a good night.
Yeah.
But she's still she's one of the better ones out there.
I'm wondering, though, if she's going to be able to maintain that kind of momentum coming back to the States.
I think so.
I hope so.
I think so.
I think it was deserving, especially after last night.
Even though I thought she was Australian.
No, she's from England.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, they made some kind of point about she's considered a hero in England, even though she's from the other side of the country, or something to that effect.
Oh, okay.
So evidently, she was not anywhere from around Liverpool, which is where they were last night. And I love it when they go to Liverpool because they always make a great big deal out of the Beatles.
Oh, of course.
But of course, I mean, how can you not?
Of course.
How can you not do that? But evidently, she's from another part of England other than there. They made some kind of comment about, well, okay, she's not from this city, but they still liked seeing somebody from their own hometown or from their home country.
Right.
I
So,
guess.
and also, some other big notes from Raw that I found. Of course, they finally announced the Bray Wyatt Dean Ambrose match for Survivor Series, which I think this is going to lead. This is going to be 2 pay-per-views deep, I think. I think this is just going to be a
Are they going to
setup.
throw those two back together again?
What are you talking about?
Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins.
What are you talking about?
I thought they were through.
They are.
Okay.
I meant Bray Wyatt.
Oh.
My bad.
Oh, okay.
My bad. I meant Bray Wyatt.
Okay. Now that one I can see.
Yeah, so they announced the Bray Wyatt versus Dean Ambrose for Survivor Series, which I still think it's going to carry over to TLC at more than likely. Very interesting feud going on between those two. They're very creative in their own rights. Bray Wyatt, I think, with his promos, Dean Ambrose with his energy and charisma. This is looking pretty good, in my opinion.
I think so. Do you think there's any chance of gosh, I hate my mind. I get so many blanks. Do you think Bray Wyatt will have any success as far as persuading his opponent to come to his side so they actually wind up being tag team partners?
Dean Ambrose?
Yeah.
No chance. In the music of Vince McMahon, no chance in hell.
Well, that alone.
He's the biggest baby face they got.
I know, but just that alone kind of makes me wonder if that's a possibility.
No. No.
There's nothing that breeds friends like contention.
No. You say this every time, actually.
Yeah, I know.
Every time someone feuds with Bray Wyatt, you're like, can you manipulate them to join? I think you said it to John Cena, Daniel Bryan.
Well, in fact,
Daniel Bryan, you're right.
Correct. Yeah,
but
for a little while anyway.
But that was a setup by
but
Daniel Bryan.
it was thankfully a very short-lived gimmick.
But I do think that Bray Wyatt will have more people come join him. There's a lot of talks of this new tag team in NXT, or not new. They've been around for about a year now. They're called Accession. There's rumors of them joining Bray Wyatt's team, and they're kind of a dark character, so it would work really well.
I was really surprised last night when they were announcing some of the people who were going to be on Cena's team. And I remember distinctly thinking, Jack Swagger? Really?
Jack Swagger's not going to be on his team.
Not now.
Oh.
Not after last night. Obviously that was just a setup for the upcoming storyline.
That's true. How stupid would that be? Jack Swagger, really?
Jack is a great wrestler. I think he's got some good potential. But I think that's the wrong way to use him right now.
So on Team Cena, we got Cena, Ziggler. I think we're going to see Big Show.
Yeah, didn't he join last night?
Yeah.
Okay. And by the way, I had predicted Big Show last week on Cena.
Yeah, you did. Big Show. Who else?
Okay, you've got on your prediction for Team Cena, you have Dolph, Ryback, Orton, and Reigns.
I don't think Reigns is going to happen now. I still think Ryback is going to happen.
Yeah. Well, it's possible. Yeah.
There's no other choice. Who else are you going to put there? Cena, Ziggler, Big Show. You have to fill 2 spots. Even if you put Randy Orton, who's going to fill the 5th spot?
Oh, God. I hope not Kofi Kingston.
Oh, God, no. No.
I think we could be unified on that opinion.
Yes, absolutely. Who's feuding with Rusev right now?
Well, that would be Sheamus, but Sheamus is already on Team Cena now.
Oh, well, you didn't even say it.
Yes, he is.
I asked you who was on Team Cena.
Oh, I'm sorry, I missed that.
Okay, all right.
Exactly. Who is on it right now? We got Sheamus, Big Show is on it, Dolph, and
Cena.
big question mark next to Ryback.
So we got Cena, Big Show, Ziggler, Sheamus. So we got 4.
Now, I would not count Orton out of that picture.
But there's one more.
I think it's going to come down to either Ryback or Orton, and I'm going to stick to my guns. I'm going to think that they're going to be using Ryback as a teeter-totter personality while simultaneously giving him a push to set him up for the next pay-per-view. But on the night of Survivor Series, I believe it'll be Orton coming down the ramp.
I still say Ryback and Orton's going to be surprise finish. Like he's going to show up and maybe cost one of the match. I could actually see it come down to Ryback and maybe someone from the Authority, maybe Triple H, and maybe Orton go ahead and RKO Ryback and maybe sets up a Ryback Orton feud.
That would be okay.
There's so many possibilities you could go.
Oh, yeah. This is I'm really liking
of all fantasy booking right now.
Of all of our prediction shows that we've been doing, this is the most fun because it has so many different twists.
So many avenues you can go, and that's why heck, even if you went your route and they had Orton join, maybe Ryback can play off that, but that would still turn him heel against Authority, which I think would be a wrong move. And I don't see WBE turning him heel. I just don't see that happening.
Now, I got another match that I would like to try to predict for Survivor Series, and it's going to involve the party guy.
Adam Rose?
Adam Rose.
Okay.
I think it's going to be Adam Rose versus the Rabbit.
Me too.
I think that's going to be a setup for the match at Survivor Series. And I'm bringing that up because of a question I was asking you before we went on the air. I've heard a rumor the Rabbit is none other than Darren Young.
Really?
Just a rumor.
That could be true.
And it really has not been verified. However, I have been paying attention to the wrists. Because that's really about the only piece of flesh that you can see. And assuming the color tint on my higher TV has been properly set, the skin tones are similar to that of Darren Young.
Okay. Well, because the Rabbit's athletic and Darren Young's pretty athletic too.
And the overall size and shape of the individual in the Rabbit costume is similar to that of Darren Young.
God, wouldn't that suck to be the Rabbit? Because you're wrestling in a Rabbit costume.
That's got to be getting a little warm.
Oh, gosh.
I hope they got the 5-day pads.
Yeah.
You know that thing has to be wrung out after every match. Because he's doing an awful lot of physical activity in it now.
Yeah.
And I bet you that thing's a little rank at the end of the night.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's got to be... Oh, man. Now that's filling my head with so many visuals that I'm not going to be able to sleep well tonight.
So moving on from there, since it is Veterans Day and we have a couple of minutes left on the show here, I want to touch on patriotic wrestlers. Who left a lasting impression on your life as a patriot? What's that word I'm trying to say?
Patriotic wrestler?
Yes.
Somebody who was a patriot. I got to tell you, it's got to be Cena.
Really?
It's got to be Cena.
Okay.
I mean, he is the...
Now we're talking past and present, so it doesn't be someone today.
Okay. Well, Sergeant Slaughter.
Okay, yeah, that was one on my list.
Slaughter would be a good one. John Cena, and he's patriotic without having been a veteran himself.
Right.
Don't they have a guy coming aboard NXT right now who actually did come from the military?
There's a couple of them, actually.
I think that's awesome.
Well, I mean, one that was a military guy, Road Dogg. He served. He was in the Marines for like 6 years and served in the first Iraqi war, and ended up joining WB right after he got out of the military.
And now that you're mentioning it, one is coming back to my mind: Big Cat Ernie Ladd.
Oh,
I believe if memory serves, I believe the Cat was a Marine.
Okay.
He certainly has the build.
He certainly makes sense.
Former governor of
Ventura.
Yeah, Jesse the Body Ventura.
Oh, he was a Navy SEAL, wasn't he?
Yes, he was in the Navy.
My goodness gracious.
Navy SEAL. I mean, you like him, love him, or hate him, or despise him for his politics, as goofy as they can be. I've got to respect the man. He did don the uniform, and he did go to battle.
I always remember, because I'm watching I've watched old school WB Raws from 93, 92, 94, and one that was kind of fell short was the Lex Luger when he was the All-American.
The All-American Lex Luger, yeah.
Yes, and they had him body slam Yokozuna on the SS
aircraft carrier of some kind.
Yeah, whatever boat it was, SS something. And they had him introduced off of a helicopter, and it's set up for a huge SummerSlam match. You talk about falling short, because first of all, the guy didn't even win the title. He never actually beat Yokozuna. And so for that to happen, I think really destroyed his character. But that was one that fell short. But one of my favorites was the Patriot. If you remember the Patriot.
I do remember the Patriot.
He always wore the American mask. And he had that good little feud with Bret Hart for a little bit back in the Attitude Era or beginning of Attitude Era. I thought he was always a fantastic patriotic character.
Now, speaking of patriotism, with all of this idea right now of our our own patriotism spirit being high because of today being Veterans Day and things like that, what is your take on the way that the WWE has handled the United States title? That in itself carries some pretty heavy political ramifications.
Well, my ultimate feeling. My ultimate feeling is there shouldn't be a U.S. title. I mean, that's my ultimate feeling.
That there should not be?
There shouldn't be a United States championship anymore. I think it's a ridiculous title. It's pointless. I think for Rusev to have it, I actually do like that from a storyline build-up. But what I don't like is the fact that Sheamus is the one that's feuding with him for the title.
I know. As the people who are really gunning for the U.S. title, neither one of them are from the United States.
Exactly. So that
is kind of weird.
That kind of bothered me a little bit. I love the fact that Rusev has it, and you can build Americans around that. But they kind of done that already without him having the title. It would make more sense to me if he would have won the U.S. title right from the get-go, back like in May and June, and then have those classic U.S. championship matches with Jack Swagger and Mark Henry.
Speaking of which, I can't believe we've gone this far, and neither one of us have mentioned the All-American American.
Jack Swagger?
Jack Swagger.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned him earlier.
Well, I did, but I didn't. Not in answer to your question about patriotic wrestlers.
Right, but he was more of a heel as a character.
He was, and that was. I'm glad that they've turned that around to have him be a face, because I don't like having our nation's reputation built as a heel. Even with Zeb Coulter, as abrasive as he was still, the guy was a Vietnam veteran.
Yep. He was a military veteran.
In real life, he was a Vietnam veteran. So like or hate his politics, that's fine, but respect the uniform for which he wore.
Yep. Kurt Angle.
Kurt Angle, yes.
He wasn't military in real life, but someone that represented America in the Olympics and won a gold medal.
That's got to carry some patriotism with it, just because he wore the colors.
Yep.
If you look at it from the standpoint of being an international gang, which countries, that's what they are, he in fact wore this gang's colors of the red, white, and blue.
Yep. Into a foreign country. Which I think actually won in Atlanta, so technically he wouldn't.
Which ironically are also the same colors for both the French and the Russian governments as well.
Is it for Russia? Oh, it is for Russia, too. I've never seen that in the Olympics.
Yep, they have the red, white, and blue. Now, the French has it in a different order. I think it's blue, white, and red.
Yeah.
But it's still the same color scheme any way you look at it.
Wow.
But, it's not like we have the patent on colors.
All right, so on the other side of it, since we never really talked about this, best anti-American wrestler.
Skandar Akbar.
Really?
Skandar Akbar, one of my all-time favorites. He was I think, for my money, he was the best heel ever made.
Wow. Of course, you spent time with Skandar Akbar, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
And so you got to know the man as well as the character.
And I, more so my little brother than myself, but I worked with him in a couple of shows. He managed my little brother, and Ak was, he was just genuinely a nice man. I enjoyed working with him and working against him. But he was just a great guy to work with. Oh man, he'd make you look good.
Right.
If he could make me look good, that guy had it going for him. But no, he's my favorite all-time anti-American hero.
I'd have to go Iron Sheik. Iron Sheik to me was always one of those relevant heels who beat the, kind of like that American hero at the time, Bob Backlund, for the title. He carried it for that long.
Yeah.
I think he ended up losing it to Hulk Hogan.
Was it Nikita Khrushchev who came into the ring and always sung the Russian national?
Nikita
Koloff.
Yes.
He sung the national.
Yeah, and when he was with Iron Sheik would always sing the national anthem for Iran at the same time. Iran #1, American Lahui.
And now this is probably going to raise some ire of some people. But as far as the beauty of a song goes, I have to hand it to the Russians. They have a magnificent national anthem. Now, we have a great one. I'm not trying to slam it in any way, shape, or form. But my gosh, that's just a beautiful song.
Sure. I have no idea. You had me on that one.
You got to watch the movie The Hunt for Red October. You can hear a wonderful version with a male choir. It's really quite. Anyway, that was an interesting show.
I agree. Have you watched WB Network so far this month?
Not yet this month.
Okay.
I will be watching it on the 24th.
You need to, and also it's ECW month, so some brand new ECW content that's uploaded.
Yes.
I've been thoroughly enjoying it. In fact, they had ECW exposed last night after Raw. I haven't got to finish it, but I'm excited to finish it.
I said the 24th. Actually, the Survivor Series is on the 23rd.
23rd.
8 a.m.
Sunday.
8 p.m. Eastern, 7 Central from the Scott Trade Center in St. Louis, Missouri. Tickets still available, starting at $25, going up to about $1,000 or so. Anyway, but join us next week right here in a computer near you for another show that we call SCI.